Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to come close to closing out playing every single companion in Standard. We've got two left. It's a toss-up between Gigantha and Kaheera. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this series. It's coming to a close with the video following this one, which we won't get to spin the wheel on that one unless you really want to spin the wheel. But this time, we're going to go ahead and spin and figure out whether we're playing the Gruul Elk or I don't even know what Kaheera is, like a beast or something. Cat beast. I'm going to guess cat beast. Kaheera it is. Guess we get to find out sooner than later. And we can close down our... Do we want to spin next time? I bet I know what it's going to land on. Alright. Kaheera is the flavor of today. We played this really sweet Cyclone deck last time. This time, we're going to play Gruul Beats, another Fires of Invention deck. We kind of kicked off this whole thing with Karuga Fires. And Karuga's interesting because it's really hard to build an effective Karuga deck. But it's a natural home for things like Fires. There is something I wanted to change about this deck because I've played it a couple times and it feels like I just don't do anything at all until turn 4. Look, same thing as the Flourishing Fox from last time. Some people are really good at always having the turn 1 Arboreal Grazer. I am not one of those people. So I feel like I really want Bone Crusher Giants to just not die to all of the early game stuff. So I'm actually going to just throw in a Bone Crusher Giant or two. I shout out to Hello Good Game for the deck list, by the way. And I think I can go down. It doesn't make sense. All right, one Bone Crusher Giant. One Bone Crusher Giant. What do you mean? That's a real card. I assure you, Bone Crusher Giant is a real card. All right, there we go. Bone Crusher in the deck. Oh, we can't play Bone Crusher. Never mind. All right, get back in there, Embercleave. Right. Anyway, let's go ahead and read Kaheera. Hey, Cat Beast, check it out. So this is the one that says every creature in your starting deck has to be a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast card. Basically the 5 main tribes, if you will, of Ikoria, even though it's not really a tribal set, but each color is linked to a creature type, if you haven't already noticed. It also pumps those same creatures by +1/+1 and gives them all vigilance. Kaheera, this is not necessarily a deck that needs Kaheera to function. It's not like the Gyruda deck, where if you just don't do the Gyruda thing, you're kind of like waffling. In fact, you can have pretty functional draws without Kaheera, but Kaheera is nice for a couple of reasons. A, it gives all your creatures vigilance, which means they can just jam every single turn, and then things like Ceratops can still sit back and block with Reach, or you can protect your Vivian a little bit better. Things of that nature, right? Same thing with Cavaliers as far as Reach goes. Pretty good with Quest and Beast. Quest and Beast already has vigilance though. It also pumps your creatures, meaning your grazers can now like pressure planeswalkers and stuff like that. And it also gives you a 3-drop play in addition to the Bronodon, right? So again, look at the curve here. You are like nothing. If you don't hit a 1-drop, you're probably not playing the game, right? If you don't hit Grazer and you don't hit a 3-drop, you're casting Kaheera on turn 3 almost every single time. And you'll notice another feature of this list is it plays 28 lands, which is just absurd, but everything in your deck is like a 4 or 5-drop. Obviously, if you hit Fires on turn 4 and you're on the play and you can go like Fires into Beast or Fires into Ceratops, you get to just smash people. If you don't, you lose pretty hard. So I don't think this is a highly competitive deck. I know it was popular for like about a week, but I would expect it to have fallen off. I don't even think Embercleave is necessary for this sort of deck because it's not something you want to draw early on. But there are a couple things that you get to do here. First off, Fires of Invention, still good with Cavalier of Flames. We saw this in the Karuga deck. When you don't have to use your mana to cast spells, you can dump all of your mana into activated abilities. So Cavalier basically gives everything in the deck haste. Quartzwood Crasher here has Trample. Trample Tribal kind of matters here. There's not actually a lot of other cards in the deck that have Trample, but if the Crasher ever connects, you're usually in good shape. Really kind of busted with Embercleave. And then finally, Bonder's Enclave lets you draw a card if you have a 4-power creature on board for 3 mana. Again, really good with Fires of Invention. You do want to draw a lot of green. You do want turn 1 Arboreal Grazer. You have very little in the way of interaction, right? If your opponent is stomping you with creatures, tough luck. You have some Domri's Ambushes, and you can't even use those really on turn 2 unless you have a Grazer. So that's going to be the deck. Kaheera, kind of Gruul stompy, if you will, but definitely a late game deck with some non-functional draws, and we'll see how it goes. Kaheera is kind of hard to build around. It has a very specific deck building requirement, but thankfully all the creatures we'll be playing today meet one of those criteria. Anyway, this is the second to last video. If you've liked this series, if you're excited to see the Giganta deck, which, yes, will be a Niv Mizzet, 5-color Niv Mizzet Reborn deck, leave a subscription below. Let me know that it's worth my time to do 10 videos, 10 standard videos for a limited player. Find us on Twitter, MTG_Manarocks, and let's jump into some games. Let's play some Kaheera. I'll see you all in match number 1. All right, welcome, ladies and gents. Match number 1, no companion on the other side. I feel like I have to mention that these days. We do have turn 4. Like, we have pretty good curve. Obviously, no turn 1 Grazer, because that'd be a 1-drop that we draw on turn 1. It's just ludicrous. But we do have turn 3 Kaheera, which is nice, right? Hands like this, they look like, well, it doesn't look like we're going to be doing too much, but we have a Scry land. I'm going to put the 5th land on the bottom. We have a Kaheera. So we always get to do something on turn 3 if we have double green. And that's important. Oh, Esper Control. Esper Control, my friends. Esper Control. Calling it now. Calling it now. Shift and Ceratops. Oh no, Blue-White Control? That's even worse. Oh no, Blue-White Mutate. Or Esper Mutate or something. Alright, well, we're definitely going Kaheera here. Kaheera here. Kaheera herself has Vigilance, I believe. Yep. And we'll see what's going on with the opponent. Now, I'm used to Mutate decks being the Amori type decks that we've seen. I haven't really seen too many Mutate decks that don't run Amori, so we'll see what happens here. The white is what interests me. What do you get out of blue and white? I guess you get the Jeskai Mutate creature. I guess you get Cub Warden. Cub Warden's pretty powerful. 3/5 lifelink that makes 2 1/1s. Okay. Well, Questing Beast is pretty good against that. Unfortunately, Shift and Ceratops is not that good, given that this is now a white creature, not a blue creature. But that being said, we do get to jam with a... We get to jam for 8 here, and have Questing Beast on defense as well. So hopefully they don't have cards like Pounce and Shore Shark. They discarded a red card, Scorch and Dragonfire. They cannot block Questing Beast. Are they going to double block Kaheera? Fine with Kaheera dying here, which means they would go down to 20. Wow, we get to just free roll the attack on Kaheera? What does that mean? I guess another mutate creature they could have very easily is the, I want to say King Caesar because of the Godzilla art. What is it? The Leonin that gives all your creatures +1/+1 for the number of times it's mutated. No shock, so no red card this turn. Vulpikeet! Oh, we're going to lose to some draft commons? Alright, so this is going to go up to a 4/6. No Vigilance, though. Opponent discarding a Deafening Clarion. And it has lifelink, which is the annoying part, and they make more 1/1s. Thankfully, Questing Beast can still just attack through those. Arboreal Grazer. Good job. Good job, Grazer. So we could play Cavalier here. We could play Ceratops and Dash. Again, all of our creatures have Vigilance. No whatchamacallit. Feel like if I go Ceratops, Haste, Attack, it's attacking as a 6/5. No Trample. Grazer can block this at a later turn. Every time they mutate, it gets another counter too, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to race the lifelink here. Cavalier's a little awkward because I'd just be passing, right? I get to discard my hand, look for a Domri's Ambush, but I wouldn't be able to cast it this turn. So I feel like I need to apply as much pressure as possible. They would have to trade off all 4 tokens to kill the Ceratops. Can also just go Grazer into Ceratops Pass. Put this land on the battlefield, and then if I draw another untapped source, I can cast this and activate. I feel like the Ceratops plane is probably the best. Alright, let's go Ceratops, give it haste. And attack with Questing Beast plus Ceratops. Remember, they have Vigilance from this, although QB already has Vigilance. The quarterback already has it. They could... Oh yeah, they can't quad block the Ceratops. It's not a thing. Opponent had pretty high life total. Probably going to gain like 5-6 damage. I'm assuming if they're Jeskai, they have the... I can't think of its name. Valdric? Banishing Light. That's going to take Questing Beast. Okay, that's powerful. This deck does have Thrash and Bronodon. It does not have Gem Razor, though. So we can't just free roll against our opponent. Let's see what we draw here. We need to draw something good. Domri's Ambush would be a very good draw, but no luck. I can go Grazer into Ceratops, give Ceratops haste, attack with 2 Ceratopses. It's like 6 Topses. I can also just play this again, but I can activate that next turn. I think that's what I'm going to do, is go land. Do I want to shock myself? I don't think so. Land. One, two, three. Yeah, I can still play Ceratops and give it haste. Next turn we can play Cavalier. Not going to be able to give Trample on either of these, though. So my opponent's life total is just going up here. Oh, I gave Trample. Whoops. Give him the oops. Alright, well, that was bad. They have basically one more cat, but one less life than they should here. And this feels like Domri's Ambush or bust. I feel like now I'm going to draw the fires. Opponent only has 3 cards in hand. Let's see if they mutate on Cub Warden. Alright, don't mind that as much. I think I'll hold tight here. No blocks. Remember, my Ceratopsis can actually gain reach, though. So maybe I can just trade for Cub Warden. Vivian. Vivian can make Vigilance creatures as well. And play cards out the top. This gives me mana for the Ceratops. This actually seems pretty decent. Top card is a Forest. We'll go in +1 and make a reach creature. 4/4. And let's attack with these 3. Pretty easy block on the Grazer with the baby Godzilla thing. I played Vivian over Cavalier there because given the haste doesn't matter too much, but also my opponent might always just forget that Shift and Ceratops can gain reach. I have like 4 reach creatures on board because I can count. Next turn we can also... One thing we can do is -2 Vivian. Alright, there goes that thing. So they can cast an instant or sorcery from their graveyard that costs 3 or less. They also get to make some 1/1s and put a +1/+1 counter on Cub Warden. Pretty powerful. What are they going to cast? Deafening Clarion or Scorch and Dragonfire? They're probably going to Scorch and Dragonfire Kaheera. They could Deafening Clarion, but that kills their board minus the Cub Warden, so I'm not sure they really want to do that. They are casting Clarion. Oh, actually, that would kill everything but the Ceratopses, right? Yeah. Because that dies. And now let's see if they remember that Shifts and Ceratops has reach. This thing has first strike now, though, right? Gross. Oh. Alright, I guess we're dead. Attack Vivian. Alright, well, didn't really see that coming. I don't know that I could have played this game any differently at all. I just played with the tools I drew. And they had, again, the right combination of cards to beat us. So, kind of an awkward deck. I haven't seen anything like that from the opponent's side of the field. So, mad respect for the cool brew. And we'll run it back for game number 2 coming up. Welcome back, ladies and gents. We've got a disrespectful hand of the turn 1 Grazer, but no third land. We have 28 lands in the deck. 28 lands. 28. That means go land, please. If we don't draw a land, it's like we did nothing with the Grazer here, though. Put it in the play, tap, then pass. Like, if I draw a forest and I can at least go Kaheera here, that's a good start, of course. Alright, Grazer pass, and that's probably enough to lose a game like this. Missing a land drop and having just Grazers on board, it's almost like I mulliganed at this point. Like, these two did virtually nothing, because I would have had 2 lands anyway. Yeah, I'll just pass and do nothing, I suppose. 28 lands. 28 lands against a Naya deck. Legion Warboss, you got it. I'll block. This is going to be some Winota deck. Oh, tap land? You insult me further? You insult me even more? Okay. Can't kill a Legion Warboss. Alright, play Winota, attack with some goblins, and let me play a real game here. Can't quit yet, because if I draw an untapped source, I do have fires, and then I can potentially do some stuff here. Migratory Greathorn on a Legion Warboss? Okay. I guess that's kind of cool. Not what I was expecting. So they're going to attack me with a 3/4, a 2/2, and a 1/1. It's respectable. I will block the small ones and play a Questing Beast. Rather, oh, I had to draw a land too. I'm just getting way far ahead of myself. All right, QB coming down. Grazer, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop. Just QB. And we'll see if we're too far gone here. Next turn, if I draw a land, I can go Cavalier plus Domini's Ambush and kind of, stabilize the board a little bit. I gotta assume my Questing Beast is dying. Oh, they're gonna kill fires here. Nice. Okay. Gem Razor. I don't know what's going on with my opponent's deck. It feels like a Winota deck. You can still trade Questing Beast for Goblin. What else you got, opponent? Conclave Tribunal. Okay. Good stuff from the opponent here. I mean, we're losing the Mana Screw. I feel like third land, fourth land, we're really far ahead of the opponent. Alright, let's go Cavalier. I can go Kaheera, kill this. Kaheera, Domri's Ambush, kill this thing. Get their value creature off the board. Or I could just play a Cavalier and hope they don't have another answer like this. Still got to face down the goblins, but at least we're stable against them. Yeah, I feel like that's probably what we've got to do here, is just kill their Legion Warboss and cut them off the value here. So 4 damage to that and attack for 2. Opponent has 4 cards in hand, though. And reasonable creatures on board. Apparently playing mutate cards as well. So any of them can get a little bit bigger. Krenko, wow. Krenko. Into Amara. So Naya tokens, neat. And then they're going to Conclave again. Yep, take Kaheera. At least we don't take any damage this turn. We do have Thrash and Bronodons in the deck too, which can be very relevant. 2 cards left. I feel like we got to watch out for March of the Multitudes and stuff like that. Cavalier it is, just to use my mana as best as possible. Actually probably just want the Enclave. Put a bunch of Cavaliers in the graveyard, pass. Alright, what's up next? They attack with Krenko, they get at least 2 goblins, assuming they can't bump it. Cub Warden. Okay. So make 1,000,000 goblins. It's the second Cub Warden deck we've run into. Make 3 goblins when it attacks. Oh, 4? Oh, right, because it gets a counter. And we can't even block it. We'll say good game. Chalk that one up to some pretty bad mana screw. 28 lands, I feel fine keeping a 2-lander and hoping I draw some lands, which we eventually did, but we skipped 2 turns there and basically mulligan twice. But take another loss here. Deck not looking too great, but maybe that was a mulligan. I don't know. I feel like we had a pretty good shot there. We also played against 2 pretty weird Cub Warden decks in a row, which is kind of nice. We'll run it back for match number 3. I'll see y'all there. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Match number 3, not doing so hot here. We do have turn 3 play with this hand. Can't get the good Grazer hand, can we? Cannot get the good Grazer hand. Alright, just looking for infinite lands here. Huh. Actually gonna bottom fires. I'm bottoming fires. Because if I draw land fires, I can't even cast anything right away. Maybe that's dumb. Fires into Cavalier is just great. Yeah, that might have been bad. Triome, 5th land to the bottom. Looking for Quest and Beast. I'm looking for any of the 4-drop creatures here. Against Mardu Knights, it looks like. Thrash and Bronodon it is. Alright, Thrashy B, get out there. TB, draw me a card. Hey, look, never punished. So next turn, we could potentially go Fires into Domri's Ambush if we need to kill something right away. We can also go Fires into just another big creature. Pow, take 2. And what you got, opponent? Rotting Regisaur. That's a good one. That's a powerful card. It's definitely going to be a Fires of Invention turn into probably just another Bronodon here. Take my 7. Could double block this Rotting Regisaur actually. But that deck probably plays Embercleave. If I don't block this and they Embercleave, it's 8 times 2 is 16 damage. They would kill us exactly. They would need an untapped source and also to attack with this. So if they go attack with 4 untapped lands, don't do anything pre-combat. I'm going to guess Embercleave and then probably not block anyway and just die to it. But if we get to untap, we're looking pretty good here. Oh, okay, they have it. Cool. Well, I'm not going to play around it. I mean, I am going to play around it. Because this is what? Yeah, that's 16 damage if they have it, so I'm going to play as though they don't have it. Oh my god. Okay. Well, the game's not over. We just lose our board. We can actually kill this Rotting Regisaur. So I go Tapland Cavalier. Domri's Ambush. Discard Grazer and keep Embercleave. Can I actually just cast this? No. Quest and Beast. Might be able to kill him next turn. Alright, let's go Domri's Ambush. They can still just kill us, right? If they equip Embercleave on this thing, we're dead. So it actually doesn't really matter. Alright, well, I guess make them do it. 1 turn too slow to actually kill the opponent here. This hits that. Might as well give this thing haste. And attack. 1 mana short of killing the opponent. 1 turn short of killing the opponent. All they have to do is equip Embercleave and attack for 6. Can't do anything. I have Fires of Invention. And that'll put us in the 0-3 bracket. Feels pretty good. Good job, Kaheera. You really nailed it. Really nailed it. But opponent also had, I guess not their nut draw. They didn't even have a 1-drop. Give them the GG. And 0-3 it is. 0-3 it is. I feel like our hands aren't really coming together though, you know? Feel like things are not just really coming together. We'll run it for a couple more though. Might just be having bad luck. Maybe the deck's bad. Who knows? This will be match 4 coming up. Looking for a win with Kaheera. See you all there. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gents. Another Garbo hand. I don't think you can keep this hand. Like, well, you're not doing anything until turn 4, and even on 4 you don't have a play. There we go. Grazer. What do we put on the bottom here? I want to keep Fires in this hand. We have turn 2 Kaheera. Turn 3, hopefully, Fires into Quest and Beast, so I think I ditch Cavalier here. And hope that this hand's good enough. Looking to get a win with the Kaheera deck. No luck so far. No luck so far. Fetching up a white source. There's the 4th lane, so we do have turn 3 Fires. Not too bad. This is the type of hand you want. Of course, you want it on the play, but beggars can't be choosers. Scraping the bottom of the barrel here. White, red, Charming Prince. Alright, so we're playing against a Winota deck, which we're going to do our thing, and then they're going to hit perfectly off Winota, and we're going to die. It is good that this is not a human, though. It's one less thing they can curve Winota in on us for. Now, forests seem more important. Play Kaheera, attack for 1. Opponent can free roll the block, but make them do it. There's no punishment on my side for it, so give them the tiny little chance that they might mess up and not play it. All right, another Charming Prince. That's good news for me. Maybe this isn't Winota, but white-red with some Charming Princes. The fact that these are humans and not something scarier is good news for me. Because the Winota deck really needs to go non-human into Winota. Now, we've got a bunch of Bonders Enclaves. Guess we'll do the thing I can do. Play Fires, play Quest and Beast, attack for 5. They can't block it. And then next turn, if we draw poorly, we can always activate a Bonder's Enclave for a redraw here. Assuming Quest and Beast is still on board, you do have to have a 4-power creature to activate this. So we're looking fine here. Opponent might be missing blue mana. Not 100% sure. Cavalier. That's a obviously fantastic draw. Let me reroll on the Bonder's Enclave, put another big dude on board. I meant the Bonder's Enclave in hand. All right, forced. So this is 3 mana to activate. Oh, I already played a land. So 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and give haste here. And I will attack with everything but Kaheera. Opponent can't block the Quest and Beast. Yep, raise the alarm. Are they going to actually block with those tokens, though? Those are more important than the Charming Princes at this point. This game we could still lose this game easily if they just spike a 4th land and flip Winota, attack with these, hit some Agent of Treacheries. Kind of hoping they just block with the raise the alarm tokens. They're keeping 1 on board, and they're trading a Charming Prince for a Grazer. Okay. I'm getting an extra point of damage here. Okay, no Winota Agent. They have to have an untapped land, which they missed last turn. They have to have a Winota in hand. They have to attack with this, and they have to have a card in the top 6. It's respectable. That is respectable. I was like, can we just flip another one? So is that game? Keep this forced in hand, right? Because we might just hit another big creature here off the flip. And it's a legendary. So if I attack, they have to block this. And they can't block this. And they've determined they don't want to think it out. They're not dead there. They go block, block. Take 5, 6, 7. If I had a land in hand, they actually would be dead. Kind of funny. Didn't think about that before I re-rolled on the land, that they were just dead without it. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, they wouldn't have been. I needed 3 red. Okay, Kaheera picks up its first win. 1-4. Busted deck. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. One more match. Let's see if we can win one more. And let's be real. We won that match because our opponent was mana screwed. So I'll take what I can get here. We'll run it back for the Kaheera deck. See if we can get into the 2-3 bracket with it. And then say goodbye to this one. Open up the door for Gigantha. Match 5 coming up. Welcome back, ladies and gents. We're against Menu again. Was that the last player or the one before? I don't remember. This is the type of hand that doesn't look great, but you have turn 3 Kaheera, so I'm going to keep it. It doesn't, again, it looks pretty bad. If we're against the Winota player again, this is just a GG type hand. No, this is the Dreadmalkin. What? Oh, this is the Rakdos aggro deck, right? The Rodden Regisaur into Embercleave deck. Yeah, we can kill an Embercleave, so that's kind of cool. I'm going to play Thrash and Bronodon for sure here over Kaheera. And then at least next turn we can go Kaheera and then follow up with some 5-drop like a Quartzwood Crasher. That's assuming we don't get interrupted, of course. If you don't know Dreadmalkin, it's a 1 mana 1/1 menace. You can pay 3 mana, sack another creature to put 2+1/+1 counters on it. Not a bad card. I don't know how often you actually activate it. Pestilence Spirit. Really? Pestilence Spirit? Oh, man. This is where not having interaction in a deck sucks, because what's our opponent going to do? They're going to play like a Blazing Volley and kill my entire board or some nonsense like that. I can already feel it. I can feel it in my bones. We're just going to lose our whole board next turn. Grazer goes to bottom. That's fine. It is what it is. I will offer this trade. Hopefully they take it so I don't get Blazing Volleyed out of the game. Yes, trade. Brontodon down. Brontodon down. Let's see what they follow up with. I don't know if this is even the same deck they were playing before. Oh yeah, it is. You got Embercleave again? Fires. Fires is actually a respectable draw. I can go 5 drops this turn. Problem, of course, is if they have the Embercleave, I just die again. Alright, let's go Fires into Quartzwood Crasher. And pass turn. Discard a card. Again, Rodden Regisaur with an Embercleave is 16 damage. 3 in hand. Tell me one of them is not an Embercleave. Pretty pleased with sugar on top. I'm going to kill Kaheera. I'm going to shock Kaheera. Bzz. Could still have a cleave. Alright, you got it, you got it. God, I hate this game so much. Such nonsense. And that's just too much damage, right? Need to draw Domri's Ambush right away. Could still draw it, and then still can't kill this. Here's what we can do, though. We can go Vivian. -2. And that says, next time I cast a creature, I can search my library for a creature with less mana cost. I can go get Thrashin' Brontodon. Yeah. Cast this. Go get Thrashin' Brontodon, put it on the battlefield, and then that's a way to deal with Embercleave. And that's what we're going to do. Put a land into play, bunch of stuff in the graveyard. Go ahead and cycle this Triome now. Could also just activate this. Need to keep up a mana for Brontodon here. Another fire is not exactly what I wanted to see. Alright, go ahead. Reggie, discard your last card. It was Labyrinth Raptor. Okay, so we're not dead here. Opponent might have to prioritize killing Vivian. Problem is, I do have to Cavalier Chump, I think. Because this can't connect. Even without Embercleave, it's still lethal. Opponent sends both at me. Because that's what you do. Surprised they're not killing Vivian here. Yeah, so block here. Might as well block here. I guess it doesn't really matter. And then activate Brontodon, and then they're going to be like, oh, drew the second cleave. Lol, 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 lol. Then I get to put something back on top of my library. Go find a Cavalier. Put a Quartzwood Crasher on top. Alright, blow up Cleave. Still going down to 5 life with not much going on. Alright, Cavalier I think is going to put a Quartzwood Crasher on top. No, definitely just put a Cavalier on top, right? So draw that. We can't activate Vivian again. But we can plus look for a creature and just try to get 3 creatures on board here. Whatever my opponent's got, they either play it or discard it to, whatchamacallit, feels like a shock. Oh, Bone Crusher. Youch. It's actually a pretty good draw. Alright, Cavalier. We have a stupid Scryland on top. Gonna discard 2, draw 2. 1, 2. You. Why? Why do you hate me, deck? Another Cavalier. Okay, that's my second spell this turn. Play that. Discard 2, draw 2. Out of spells to play. Grazer. Funny. Alright, play that, tapped, pass turn. If my opponent draws another land, they can just attack with all 3 creatures. I have to go block, and then they can sack them both to the Dread Malkin. Looks like they just drew more gas. So much gas. Why does my opponent always have gas? I mean, if they have a shock, I'm dead anyway. Because I can't double block that. So I have to go block. This can eat a creature that I blocked, deal 3 damage, and then shock me for the win. Opponent's not... Oh, okay, sure. That can pump a menace creature. Alright, they're giving us a turn here, I suppose. One, two, three. Only 3 lands, so not really enough to threaten them. Let's see how they attack. Yep, 100% trade there. This has menace too, right? Yeah, this is going to be tough to get out of without a removal spell. So I have to block. Absolutely have to block here, and then I can't block the other one. And they can pump it, put me down to 3, and then somehow I have to deal with a ton of menace creatures next turn. Or kill my opponent out of nowhere. Don't see that happening. Domri's Ambush or bust. Uh-huh. Go down to 3. And draw Grazer. I don't think Grazer is really going to do it. Can I kill him with an Embercleave somehow if I draw it? Oh, Domri's Ambush. So I'm still just dead though, right? Because if I Domri's Ambush and kill this, and then play a Grazer, that's my 2 spells for the turn. And then they attack with both and sack to the Dread Malkin. They're going to see it. My only win is that my opponent messes up here. I can kill this, in which case they attack with both, and I can only block one of them. They can pump this. I think I'll just make my opponent see the line. Because they might not see it, to be honest. Rude opponent. People only do that when they think they won. And my opponent has won, but the fact that they think they've won is annoying. Alright, kill that. Make our opponent see the line next turn. Which, respect, they're going to see it. And that's going to put us in, like, 1-4 bracket. So yeah, the opponent attacks with both. I can't block both because this thing has menace. And they just sack the, yeah, okay. Yes, good game, I get it. You got the win. That just grinds my gears so much. There's nothing I can do, though. Make him activate the Dread Malkin. Why are you so rude, Minute? Why are you so rude, Minute? Alright, what do we learn from the Kaheera deck? It's not very good. If you don't have a Grazer and the perfect draw and you're not on the play, you're probably not going to win. We didn't even play against... We played against that deck twice. 2 Cub Warden decks, and then we won against something. I don't remember what we won against, but... Oh, we won against a Winota deck that got mana screwed. Alright, well, the Kaheera deck... Yeah, I'm probably not playing this deck ever again. That, or I'm not playing a Fires version of the deck. It's just felt really bad, like really sloppy, no way to interact with the opponent type stuff. So I don't know. If you've had success with this deck, let me know if I did something wrong, but it just didn't feel it very good to me. Maybe picked a different version. I know Kaheera is kind of interesting because you can play a deck with no creatures and still have Kaheera, kind of like what's the other one you can do that with? Whatever. You know what I'm getting at. But you can play like a Super Friends deck and have Kaheera, even though it's just kind of this random Super Friends deck. Anyway, there you go. We played Kaheera. We'll have Gigantha as our runner. This is easily the worst of the ones that I've played with. Even my homebrew deck did better or had more fun interactive games than this one. Youch. That felt bad. Anyway, got to take some losses here and there. That's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this episode. Our next one will be the last one with good old Jeff Hoogland's Gigantha deck. Thanks for watching. As always, my name's Timothy with Manrocks. You can find us on Twitter at MTG_Manrocks or subscribe to the channel below for more content like this. As always, appreciate you being here, and I will see you all next time.